Sayed from Dr.Been.com. Today we have a very important guest with us. You have been asking for having him here, having to talk about leronlimab. He is the CEO and founder and the director and the president of CytoDyn. Leronlimab, as you may have heard before, and if not, it is a monoclonal antibody which has very, very promising results for HIV and other studies. I'll let Dr. Pourhassan talk about that. But there is a very promising outcome for the COVID-19 patients as well, for which we are very, very excited. So I wanted to make sure that we can talk with Dr. Pourhassan. So Dr. Pourhassan, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Doctor. Appreciate it.
Very good. So I have a number of questions that we have curated from some of our cool beans. And then I'm sure that there are going to be questions as we talk live as well. So I will mix those questions. The very important first question that I have been asked a lot is your own background. So somebody mentioned that you are from a mechanical engineering background, and how did you come to found and run this company? So tell us a little bit about yourself.
No, thank you. I appreciate it for having me. And yes, I came to United States when I was 14 years old. And at that time, I went to school and got my bachelor's of science in mechanical engineering, then my master's program. But when I got my master's, my dad was kicked out of the army in Iranian Revolution. So I was able to my dad wanted me to do business and take care of the family, my mother and four brothers and children, my four brothers and sisters. I did that while I got my PhD in mechanical engineering. So I had 25 years of experience with business, which I did very well with. And I had my difficulties of, at some point it didn't work, but I came back, and every time I fell down on business, I was able to get up again. So with all that, my wife asked me to join CytoDyn because she thought that would be a noble thing to do, to be able to save lives and be able to make money for the shareholders also. So that would be a great business. So I left my teaching job that I had at Center for Advanced Learning and closed all the businesses. And my wife actually funded, we didn't have a lot of money, he funded my first year of working at CytoDyn, raised money. And then when we saw that the drug that was there at the time I was there was not working, I was very fortunate to find Pro 140. When I found out Pro 140, I was taught a lot of things by the inventor of Pro 140, Dr. Pourhassan. I was taught quite a bit of stuff from drug development, from Amarex, Dr. Kazempour, Dr. Kushdodi. Once I got my training in regulatory and be able to know what to do to make the drug work and get it through approval, I changed everything in the company. We let the scientists that we had actually go because we needed a drug development path, not a new molecule. And that's when I brought in Dr. Robert Schooley from University of California in San Diego, Dr. Paul Madden, the inventor, Dr. Scott Hammer, Dr. Jay Lalezari, who has been tremendous for us. And with those people around me, we were able to talk about options, and I selected monotherapy, and the rest just, the last 6 years, it's just been developing to where we are right now.
Awesome. So I actually, a fascinating background, and thank you very much for taking on this challenge. One thing that is asked, and you mentioned a little bit about that as well, the CytoDyn itself. Tell us a little bit about the company and how is it progressing? How is it adding value for the patients, for the shareholders, for the employees? What is happening at CytoDyn?
So at CytoDyn, I have always said to everybody that we believe that monotherapy for Pro 140 would be very appropriate path. At the time I said that, some of the board members almost fired me. And the FDA wasn't very happy at that time. They made us have a data safety monitoring board and only do to our patients. At that time, we bought Pro 140 for $3.5 million down payment, and nobody thought there was a path forward but me. So I saw that through Dr. Robert Schooley, not myself. Dr. David Ho was in touch with us at that time. Doctors from VIV were in touch with us, John Pottage. And after studying it very carefully, we went in that path. And CytoDyn was in the brink of bankruptcy. When I got them, they had $2 in their account, and they had a bankruptcy papers filed. It was my wife who funded it, and we got back on our feet over there. And then Pro 140 was a big challenge because nobody believed in the path going forward. But once we got the first results of monotherapy, and patients from HIV world said that I want this. There is no more pills for me, 4 or 5 pills every day, every exact time. So that impacted patients. And we had a video of the 10 patients who said, wow, they cried. They said, you gave our life back to us. That feeling of being able to touch a person's life in that way was not something I was used to. As a medical doctor, you and your colleagues are very well used to saving people's life. I wasn't. And that gave me a tremendous energy. And when I started looking at the other aspects of this product, I realized that there is a lot of potential. And this product is all credited to Dr. Paul Madden and William Olson, not me. I did not make this product. I should get zero credit for that. The credit, excuse me, I should get is I was fortunate enough to find the right business path for it and develop it to this point. So CytoDyn is now sitting at about $3.5 billion. So from 3.5 million bought the product. We're fortunate, thank God, to get it to 3.5 billion. That's what everybody at CytoDyn is excited. All the shareholders are excited, and we hope to build on that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And I want to, so of course, thank you very much that you are so generous to the inventors of the molecule. I want to note for our viewers here that sometimes it's not just the molecule itself, it is the business wrapper, the packaging around that, that actually decides the success or failure of a drug. So, of course, as much as you're saying that you have zero credit in it, without this leadership, without the execution, things do not go anywhere. I run a company as well. I have so many entrepreneur friends as well. The execution and the right path forward is very, very important. So thank you very much for your contribution in that as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So now if we go to some of the user questions,
Sure.
some of the cool bean questions as we call them. And so after these, the main question at this time, which is, I want to open with those questions and then we'll go in other discussions too.
Sure.
The leronlimab related question. So from your site, and I have done a couple of lectures about the leronlimab's mechanism of actions as well. From your site, it is said that leronlimab can actually reduce the cytokine storm for COVID-19 context. So tell us a little bit about the leronlimab in COVID-19 context and what trials we would then ask you about the trials and how is the results coming through.
So we had the leronlimab being very successful in monotherapy for a subpopulation of HIV patients who have R5